There is an urgent need to talk about narcissism because more than ever, people have been raised in narcissistic systems, either with parents, extended families, or other caregivers. Now this leaves them vulnerable to being in narcissistic relationships as adults. Because of the impact of their early environment, many of us may end up self-sabotaging our adult relationships or attracting narcissistic partners. We may even unconsciously look for someone who embodies that narcissistic dynamic, because we think that must be normal. It's what we know. So today we're going to talk about breaking the family cycle of narcissism. A pathway to understanding will be explored. Let's start with the bold statement, and then we'll get into the meat of the matter. The truth about narcissism isn't just about individual ego. It's a generational inheritance, passed down through the very families we belong to. You might be living out a script written decades ago, unknowingly perpetuating the same pain. This video will expose the insidious ways narcissistic traits are recycled and equip you with the strategies to finally interrupt these destructive patterns, transforming your family's future. Now let's go back to the bold statement and ask why. Why does it matter? Why is it significant to understand the role of generational patterns in narcissism? Why is it important to break the family cycle of narcissism? In essence, generational patterns play a pivotal role in shaping an individual's understanding of relationships, self-worth, and societal norms. Narcissistic traits, when left unchecked, can seep into the very fabric of a family's dynamics, creating a cycle that continues for generations. These patterns often act as an invisible curriculum, dictating how family members should behave and what roles they should embody. Breaking this cycle is crucial not just for personal healing, but also for creating a ripple effect of positive change that can transform the lives of future generations. So here's the deal. You could spend your life stuck in a loop, repeating the same old dance with your family, playing out the script that was handed to you. But here's the twist. You have the power to rewrite that script. Think about it. If your childhood home had its own unique blueprint for survival, maybe it's time to draw up some new plans. That's right. By shedding light on these hidden scripts, we aim to empower you with the tools to make conscious choices about the legacy you want to leave behind. Alright, let's dive in. First off, let's talk about the blueprint of broken bonds. When it comes to generational narcissism, imagine your family as having its own secret blueprint. It's called the blueprint of broken bonds. This blueprint lays out all the rules and expectations that everyone has to follow. But here's the catch. These rules are unwritten, and they're all about keeping the narcissist happy. As you grow up in this kind of environment, you learn to anticipate the needs of the narcissist. It becomes your second nature. In fact, you might even receive praise or attention when you manage to read their mind and fulfill their expectations. Over time, you internalize these patterns, and they shape the way you relate to others. This brings us to the performance imperative. The performance imperative, you're always on stage. Picture growing up in a house where every action was a performance. That's what it's like under the performance imperative. As a child, you were probably attuned to the narcissist's needs, so you could predict their moods and avoid any upsets. This constant vigilance meant that your childhood was less about playing and more about people-pleasing. Think about a theater production. Just like actors in a play, you were always trying to hit your marks, deliver the right lines, and get the applause. But here's the difference. There were no scripts. You had to memorize your lines and make sure you never stepped out of character. And if you messed up, there was no director to offer guidance. Instead, you were met with criticism and disappointment. The stakes were high and the pressure was immense. And if you didn't perform well enough, the narcissist might lash out, leaving you feeling confused and scared. This became your reality. However, there was no safety net. As you grew older, this need to perform didn't magically vanish. Instead, it followed you into your adult relationships. You found yourself drawn to partners who appreciated your ability to anticipate their needs or other situations that put you in the spotlight. But here's the thing. These scenarios were not fulfilling for you. They left you drained and longing for a different kind of connection. But you see, the blueprint of broken bonds doesn't just affect your romantic life. It colors all your relationships. Friendships, family ties, and even your interactions with strangers become performances. Each encounter becomes a chance to showcase your skills and avoid any hint of conflict. Next, let's talk about the erosion of self. The erosion of self is like a thief in the night. It steals away your sense of identity and replaces it with someone who fits the mold of the family's expectations. Growing up in a narcissistic environment, you learn to suppress your true self to avoid conflict or to keep the peace. You might have even picked up some of the narcissist's traits and used them as a shield. Picture a sculptor chipping away at a marble statue, slowly revealing the masterpiece hidden within. Similarly, over time, your authentic self has been carved down, conformed to the demands of the family system. But here's the problem. This erosion doesn't stop. It follows you into adulthood. You might find yourself constantly doubting your opinions or avoiding expressing your needs. The fear of rejection or criticism is so ingrained that it feels like your own voice. Your boundaries become blurred, your identity fragmented, almost as if you're living in a state of limbo. You're not sure who you are or what you want because you've spent most of your life conforming to someone else's expectations. This brings us to the echo chamber. The echo chamber, where reality takes a back seat. Remember that blueprint we talked about earlier? Well, the echo chamber is where that blueprint becomes gospel. Everyone in the family accepts it without question. If you were to share your perception of events or express your feelings, you might be met with disbelief or dismissal. It's like living inside a bubble where the air is filled with distorted echoes of truth. The family's narrative, often shaped by the narcissists, becomes the ultimate reality, even if it contradicts your own experiences. You might find yourself questioning your memory, wondering if you're misremembering events or overreacting to situations. Imagine you're trying to describe a painting to someone, but the words you use don't match the colors or the strokes on the canvas. That's what it's like living in the echo chamber. You see, in this environment, facts become malleable, emotions are invalidated, and your perspective fades into the background noise. Okay, now that we've explored the blueprint of broken bonds, the performance imperative, the erosion of self, and the echo chamber, let's talk about your power to disrupt the pattern. First off, let's chat about self-discovery. It's like solving a puzzle where each piece reveals a bit of the picture. Through therapy or self-reflection, you can uncover the subtle ways in which you've adapted to your upbringing. Narcissistic relationships are tricky. They mess with your head in ways you might not even realize. Things like learned coping mechanisms, subconscious beliefs, and personal triggers can hold you back from forming healthy connections. It's like having an invisible backpack filled with stones. You might not notice its weight until you take it off. Once you do, you can start to see your true self, the one that was hidden under layers of defense mechanisms. Next, let's talk about the no revolution. Oh boy, the no revolution. Saying no can be scary, especially when you've grown up in a narcissistic environment. But trust me, it's like taking a small step for yourself and a giant leap for your well-being. You see, setting boundaries is a revolutionary act. It's a way of reclaiming your power and asserting your right to be respected. Imagine you've been holding on to a heavy rock, trying to please the narcissist, going along with their demands. But when you let go, it's like a weight is lifted. It's time to say no to the guilt trips, the manipulation, and the unspoken expectations. It's okay to prioritize your own needs and desires. You deserve it. But remember, saying no doesn't mean starting a war. You can do it kindly, firmly, and without apology. Then we have reclaiming your voice. It's like finding your voice in a crowded room. When you reclaim your voice, you're breaking free from the echo chamber of the past. It's about speaking up for yourself, expressing your needs, and setting healthy boundaries. But let's face it, it can be intimidating, especially if you've been in a narcissistic relationship. For years, you might have felt like your voice didn't matter. Like your opinions and feelings were less important than the narcissists'. But guess what? That's not true. Your voice matters, and learning how to use it effectively is a game changer. It's about finding the right words to express yourself, practicing assertive communication, and standing up for what you believe in. Imagine the silence after a storm. That's what it's like when you reclaim your voice. It's quiet at first, but that silence is powerful. It gives you space to think, to breathe, and to assert yourself. Now that you've taken the first steps towards healing, it's time to focus on healing and rebuilding your foundation. First up, detachment with love. Detachment with love is like creating a buffer between yourself and the chaos. It's not about cutting ties completely, but rather establishing emotional boundaries. In a narcissistic relationship, you might feel exhausted by the constant need to appease the narcissist. It's mentally draining. Detachment allows you to step back and observe without getting pulled into the vortex. Think of it as wearing a protective suit. You can still engage, but you're shielded from the harmful effects. If it's safe for you, detaching doesn't mean ignoring red flags. It means acknowledging them and choosing to distance yourself emotionally. It's about protecting your well-being without severing the connection completely. Next, let's talk about cultivating your inner circle. Your inner circle is your support system, your tribe of friends and loved ones who uplift you and validate your feelings. When you've been in a narcissistic relationship, it can feel like an uphill battle. You might have doubted your own perceptions or felt isolated. Cultivating a strong inner circle can provide the validation and understanding you've been missing. These are the people who listen without judgment, offer a shoulder to lean on, and celebrate your victories. It's like having a safe haven where you can truly be yourself. And last but not least, the inner child work. The inner child work is all about nurturing the wounded parts of you that may have been neglected in your early years. Picture your inner child as the innocent, curious part of you that existed before you had to grow up too fast. In a narcissistic environment, this inner child might have been ignored or dismissed. Maybe you didn't have the chance to explore your interests or express your emotions freely. That's where the inner child work comes in. It's about recognizing these unmet needs and providing the care and attention that you deserved. Through therapy, journaling, or even art, you can reconnect with this part of you, heal the wounds of the past, and allow your inner child to flourish. Finally, let's talk about forging a future of authentic connection. Forging a future of authentic connection is like creating a ripple effect. When you break free from the cycle of narcissism, you inspire others to do the same. Imagine a pebble dropped into a still pond. The ripples spread outward, touching every corner of your life. By healing from your past, You pave the way for deeper, more meaningful connections. You become a role model, showing others that it's possible to escape the grip of narcissism. It's a future filled with empathy, respect, and emotional validation. Speaking of the future, let's talk about breaking the mirror. Breaking the mirror is all about it's about recognizing the subtle ways in which you might be perpetuating narcissistic patterns in your own relationships. Imagine looking in a mirror and seeing a distorted reflection. That's what it's like living with unconscious biases. These biases, often formed in early childhood, can shape your interactions without you even realizing it. Breaking the mirror means shattering that distorted image and seeing yourself clearly. It's about examining your beliefs, challenging your assumptions, and fostering empathy in your relationships. By doing this, you ensure that you don't inadvertently pass on the cycle of narcissism to future generations. And that leads us to conscious parenting. Conscious parenting is like holding up a magnifying glass to your actions. It's about reflecting on your own behaviors and the impact they have on your children. You see, the way you treat your children today will shape their beliefs about the world tomorrow. Instead of reacting instinctively, conscious parenting encourages you to pause, empathize, and respond thoughtfully. It's about recognizing your triggers, managing your emotions, and providing the emotional support your children need to thrive. By doing this, you break the chain of intergenerational narcissism and raise children who are equipped to form healthy connections in their own lives. Finally, let's talk about the legacy of change. The legacy of change is the enduring impact of your healing journey. It's the ripple effect that extends beyond your immediate life, touching the lives of future generations. Imagine a tree planted in the present that provides shade for generations to come. That's what your healing represents. By breaking free from the cycle of narcissism, you create a ripple effect that influences those around you. Your children, in turn, become more empathetic, better equipped to handle challenges, and more likely to form healthy relationships. The legacy of change is profound. It's a testament to the power of healing and the enduring impact of one person's journey. Narcissistic abuse can shake you to your core, leaving you questioning your worth and doubting your instincts. But remember, you're not alone. Every scar tells a story of resilience, and every step you take towards healing is a victory. Don't settle for a life half-lived. Reach out to support groups, connect with survivors, and lean on those who understand. Your strength isn't defined by the abuse you endured, but by the courage it takes to rise above it. You've got this.